A note about viewing these quick and dirty videos: in the YouTube box here, if you want to change the quality, click this button to change the quality, get the best quality you can. It's easier to see. And if you want it full screen, also makes it easier to see, click this button right here. Okay, so we want to take a look in a little more detail at the Service Manager Control Panel query tool. And we're going to do this little Q&D, this quick and dirty unedited video, to take a look at that. So I'm looking at the main screen for the query selector. I want to talk a little bit now about saving queries. I've got my my turnaround time query in the box. I've got my title in the box. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my query, which has a couple prompts in it. I'm going to use the same values as before, and I'm going to run my query. So here I've got the results of my query on the screen, but at the top of the screen, because I have permission to save my query, here I've got the ability to save this query. So I'm going to add a comment that explains this query. Lists items sold within period of time showing the average time on hand. How about that? And I want to keep this query private, so that means that only I will be able to run this in the future, or see it in the future. And then I go ahead and I save the query. I click this to save the query, and what that's done is that has saved my query. So if I look at my queries, or I'm going to look at all the saved public queries, this will include the public queries plus my private queries. And here's the one I just saved right here at the top of the list. Okay, so the way we use this screen, the saved queries list, so we choose the query we want to use. In this case, I've got the turnaround time, and then I just click the button to use that query. Now on this screen, I've got the ability, take a look at this for a second, I can sort the queries by ID number. I can sort by date. You see these arrows are my sort links. I can sort by who saved it. I can sort by title and comment and so on. I've also got this column here indicates whether or not this is a private query, in which case it would be private to me. And then I've got a button here to delete queries. If I want to delete one of the queries, that only works, of course, if I have the permission to delete queries. So I'm going to resort my list here. I'm going to find one. Let's see. Let me sort it by date. Here's the one we just did, turnaround time for a range of items. So if I choose this query, what will happen is if I click this button, it will fill in the title of the query, and it will fill in the query for me. Now these options are I still have the ability to change these and run them any way I want. I can download and so on. But that's basically how the this query saving works. And it's all controlled by permissions. You've got permissions to save queries, to create queries, to delete queries, and permission to see public queries and so on. So you have a lot of control over who can do what with that. A couple other links on this screen very briefly. This link here is a kind of a dictionary for all the tables and fields in the Service Manager Control Panel. I'm going to control click on this just to give you an idea what it looks like. This is a list of all the tables in the system. There are 101 tables at this time, and this has all of the field definitions, field names, field definitions, names of tables, and so on. Everything that you need, all the raw materials to build your own query. The other link here is the link to the pre-built queries. What this leads to is to the Service Manager Control Panel website, and on that website we've got a list of queries that people have asked for, and ones that we suggest or ones we think people might find useful. So we've got 4 dozen or so on here right now, and if you click these, you'll get the query, and then you can take that query and cut and paste it in, run it, and if you think you'll need it again, you can save it. So that's a quick look at the functions for saving queries in the Service Manager Control Panel query system.